and there's some practical steps we can take right away to promote growth and encourage businesses to hire and expand. This isn't just about what makes economic and practical sense.
My whole goal is to remove the politics of this and take a very practical, common sense approach that benefits people on both sides of the border and creates a secure and safe border so you don't have people who are dying in the deserts as a consequence of a disorderly and illegal migration process.
These schools offer practical education and technical training, and they're increasingly important centers of learning where Americans can prepare for the jobs of the future. And that's a career that has given her not only a sweeping overview of the American judicial system, but a practical understanding of how the law works in the everyday lives of the American people. But I've now dealt with a lot of world leaders, and I think that Chancellor Merkel is smart, practical, and I trust her when she says something.
Your work is both practical and poetic, educational and inspirational.
Once we get past the two poles of this debate, it becomes possible to shape a practical, common sense approach that reflects our heritage and our values.
This provides an opportunity to agree upon practical measures that need to be taken in the upcoming months to allow the Sudanese people to successfully meet the challenges that they face.
A practical example of that today, I think, is Secretary Geithner must be dealing with the whole issue of mortgages and how you regulate mortgages on a go-forward basis. And there are multiple constituencies within that, including we decided for a variety of reasons not to consolidate regulatory bodies in the United States.
Teddy Roosevelt, of course, our greatest conservation president, wrote that there is nothing more practical in the end than the preservation of beauty. Even FDR, in the midst of the Great Depression, enabled the National Park Service to protect America's most iconic landmarks, from Mount Rushmore to the Statue of Liberty. So, not only do we have a humanitarian interest, we also have a very practical interest in making sure that the changes that are sweeping through that region are occurring in a peaceful, nonviolent fashion. And so it's a very practical way of thinking about these problems.
But if we take some practical, common sense steps, we can keep these women in the STEM pipeline where we so desperately need them.
So I believe that this is a good example of practical cooperation which should be highlighted.
Would basically amount to whatever's left of entitlements, defense spending, and interest on the national debt, period. Money for these.
On the middle ground, we may have more practical policies, for example, to do more things on seizures, on trafficking, focusing on that.
It is possible to do theoretically. It is not possible or wise to do as a practical matter.